If you are planning a trip to Oxford, there are a few things you should know before you arrive, and some of them may surprise you.
We actually lived in Oxford for years and even studied at university here. And during that time, we saw the same mistakes visitors make again and again. Some of these are practical travel tips, others are things that aren't obvious until you're there, and a few will genuinely make your trip a lot easier.
So whether it's your first time visiting or you are planning a quick day trip from London, here are 21 things tourists should know before visiting Oxford in 2026, starting with something many visitors misunderstand about the city.
A lot of visitors arrive expecting one single large university campus, but Oxford works very differently. The university is made up of over 30 individual colleges spread throughout the city. Each college has its own courtyards, buildings, and they all operate independently.
The most impressive fact is that some of them date back centuries. For example, the oldest Oxford college, which is Balliol College, was founded in the 13th century.
As a visitor, this is important to know because each college offers a unique history and experience. For instance, we visited All Souls College, which is one of the very few colleges that offers free entry tickets. It features 2 stunning quadrangles, and the best part is that it's located right next to the Bodleian Library, which made exploring the grounds even more memorable.
Something that surprises a lot of visitors is that many Oxford colleges charge an entry fee. Prices typically range from around £6 to the most expensive being Christ Church, which costs £23. Because of this, on your visit to Oxford, we'd personally suggest to choose 1 or 2 colleges that interest you the most, rather than trying to visit as many as possible. That way, you can enjoy the experience properly without rushing or overspending.
Oxford is a working university, not just a tourist attraction. And that means colleges sometimes close to visitors for exams, ceremonies, or private events. So it's completely possible to arrive planning to visit a specific college and find it closed on the day. To avoid that, we always recommend checking the official website of the college you want to visit before you go, since it should be announced there.
One of the best things about Oxford is how easy it is to explore in a short amount of time. The historic centre is quite compact, which means you can walk between most major landmarks.
Many people visit Oxford as a day trip from London, and that actually works really well.
If you start early, you can comfortably see many of the highlights in a single day.
By the way, we've recently started helping people plan their entire trips. So if it's your first time visiting Oxford or even the UK, we can plan your whole trip for you. All you need to do is scan the QR code on screen or click the top link in the description to get started.
If you are arriving by train, this is important to know. Oxford actually has 2 nearby stations, Oxford Station and Oxford Parkway. Most visitors want Oxford Station because it's only about a 10-minute walk from the historic centre. Oxford Parkway is further outside the city, so if you accidentally book that one, you'll need an extra bus or a taxi ride to reach the centre.
Oxford is not a very car-friendly city, especially in the city centre. There are traffic restrictions, limited and expensive parking, and narrow streets which can make driving very frustrating.
Even locals tend to avoid driving into the centre.
If you're arriving by car, the easiest option is to use one of Oxford's park and ride services, where you park outside the city and take a bus into the city centre.
Oxford is one of the easiest cities in England to explore on foot. Most of the main sites are located close together, so you won't need to rely on transport once you are in the centre.
We actually recorded a video sharing the 18 best things to do in Oxford, which we recommend watching after this video. And we managed to explore everything before it was even nighttime, which is great news, especially if you're visiting Oxford as a day trip.
Oxford is one of the most bike-friendly cities in the UK. You'll notice this very quickly that locals cycle everywhere, especially students. Because of that, cyclists move quickly and often share narrow streets with pedestrians.
So when crossing roads or walking around the historic centre, make sure you always keep an eye out for bikes. Oxford might feel like a small city, but it's one of the most visited destinations in England. During peak season, especially from late spring through summer, it can get very crowded. Queues for popular colleges and attractions can also build very quickly. If you're visiting during this time, it's worth booking key experiences in advance and starting your day early.
One of the most famous buildings in Oxford is of course, the Radcliffe camera. It's the iconic library you see in almost every photo of the city, and it's also appeared in many movies. But something many visitors don't realize is that you cannot just walk inside it.
The Radcliffe camera is part of the Bodleian Library and is mainly used by students. The only way to access it is by becoming a student at a university. I'm just kidding. That's one option, but
Imagine.
But the easier one is to book a specific guided tour of the Bodleian Library, which includes access to certain historic areas of the complex.
So if going inside the Radcliffe camera is in your list, make sure to book a tour in advance.
For the best views in Oxford, head up the tower of University Church of St. Mary the Virgin. It's located right opposite the Radcliffe camera and offers 360-degree views across the entire city.
Entry costs £6, which is honestly great value considering the views you get. Just be aware that there are 123 narrow steps to reach the tower at the top.
If you've seen photos of Oxford with people on long wooden boats along the river, that activity is called punting.
It involves standing on a flat boat and pushing yourself along the river using a long pole. So you basically impose yourself by hitting the pole against the riverbed, pretty much the same way they do it in Venice.
In Oxford, the most popular spot to punt is by Magdalen Bridge, and you can either rent a punt and do it yourself or hire someone to guide you.
Doing it yourself is cheaper, but it's also more difficult than it looks, and that's part of the fun. If it's your first time doing it, they will give you a brief explanation before you get on, so don't worry, okay? One of the best things about Oxford is that several of its museums are completely free to enter.
Two of our favorites are the Ashmolean Museum because of the variety of exhibitions and the rooftop cafe, and the second one is the Natural History Museum, mainly because of the dinosaur remains.
What's really cool about the Natural History Museum is that they actually encourage you to touch certain displays, which makes the experience much more interactive, especially if you are visiting with kids.
We've actually created a Google Maps list with over 100 locations in Oxford, so you can download it with one click and get instant access to museums, pubs, landmarks, cafes, and more. For less than the price of a coffee, it's a small investment that will make your day in Oxford way easier.
Make sure to check the link in the description or scan the QR code on screen. While many things in Oxford can be visited spontaneously, a few experiences are better booked ahead of time, especially since they sell out quickly during busy seasons.
This is especially true for historic library tours, certain college visits, and popular guided walking tours.
By the way, we've linked in the description the guided walking tour we recommend if you want a really in-depth experience of Oxford.
Even though the Harry Potter films weren't fully shot here, several Oxford locations were used as inspiration for scenes in the films. Because of this, Harry Potter tours are extremely popular in the city. It's even inspired businesses to open shops selling Harry Potter merchandise in the city.
Two great examples that come to mind of places that appeared in Harry Potter movies are the Christchurch Dining Hall, which inspired the Great Hall, and the Divinity School, which was used as the infirmary.
Oxford isn't just famous for its university, it's also one of the most literary cities in the world. Some of the most famous stories ever written were either created here or heavily inspired by the city.
For example, Alice in Wonderland was written by Lewis Carroll while he was teaching at Oxford. C.S. Lewis also taught at Oxford when he wrote the Chronicles of Narnia.
And even the Lord of the Rings author J.R.R. Tolkien was a professor here. So when you're walking through the city, you're exploring a city that helped inspire some of the most famous fantasy stories ever written.
Another thing Oxford does really well are traditional British pubs. A few that are definitely worth visiting include the Head of the River, which sits right by the water and has a great atmosphere in the summer. And the Checkers, one of the oldest pubs in the city with a really cozy and traditional feel.
The Turf Tavern is another one that dates back to 1381 and is tucked away in the heart of the city.
These are good places to take a break and experience a different side of the city.
Right in the center of Oxford, there's a historic indoor market known as the Covered Market. Inside you'll find food stalls, bakeries, coffee shops, and independent businesses.
It's a great place to grab a quick lunch, browse, or just experience a bit more of the local atmosphere.
Because Oxford is small and extremely popular, hotels can be quite expensive, especially in the city centre.
I'd say prices can easily be as expensive as in London, which is crazy to think, but it's true, especially during peak travel periods.
Booking in advance usually helps, particularly if you want to stay within walking distance of the main attractions. If you'd like help choosing the perfect hotel in Oxford, feel free to drop us an email.
Just like the rest of the UK, tap water in Oxford is completely safe to drink. In restaurants, cafes and pubs, you can ask for tap water, which is free. And if you are on a budget, it's a simple way to save money while exploring the city.
Overall, Oxford is considered a very safe city to visit. It's a university city with lots of students, visitors, and families walking around throughout the day and evening. But just like in any city, it's still important to stay aware of your belongings and surroundings. But generally, it's a very comfortable place to explore.
Remember to check out the top link in the description if you'd like us to plan your trip to the UK.
If you found this video helpful, give it a like, subscribe for more travel guides like this, and click one of the videos on screen to keep learning more about the UK.